All right, we're live again. Third live this time. Today we're going to be talking about the fall 2025 anime season, covering them, discussing all the ones I watched. I don't see the point of uh talking about ones I didn't watch. But I will probably be having two guests with me, so we might wait a little bit and kind of just chat it up for now, and then once we actually get them in here, then we'll actually start discussing them. So I know the past two lives I did in the beginning was kind of like, oh, we're trying to figure stuff out, but um, and I had to like pin a comment and say like, hey, this is when we actually start talking. So I figured this time around, I just talk right away. That way, because that way people will be like, oh, he's actually talking instead of just waiting. So yeah, once we get some people in here, then we'll be discussing things. Um, I told a couple people that I'm going live at 1, so we should get some people in here soon. And yeah, like I said, we're going over the fall 2025 anime season. As you guys know, I watch a lot. So basically, it's like 30 to 40, somewhere around there. I think what I ended up with after all the ones I ended up dropping, I think I had 31, I believe. Maybe 30, 31, somewhere around there. So that is all the animes that I watched for the fall season. So yes, we're gonna be covering most of them. Uh, and then I don't know if we might do like a review, like we might rate it possibly. I don't know if that's something we're gonna do or not. It could just be a run of the mill, like, hey, like this is what we think, and go from there. So as soon as we get some people in here, we'll start discussing things, and hopefully we can get started soon and not have to wait too long. So yeah, as soon as some people come in, like I said, then we'll get started. And I might have to keep checking my phone to see like who's in here and whatnot. Because that's another thing. I can't see who it is. Like when people join, I don't know who it is. It just says how many viewers. So that's another thing. I'm like, unless they say something in the chat, I don't know who's in here. So all right. Yeah, hopefully not too long from now. Because it's already been 2.5 minutes. I've just been rambling on. And I would like to get started, you know, within 5 minutes, I would hope. Uh, let me just double check my phone to see like who who's going to be coming in here. One thing that's a pain in the ass is basically, damn, I forget the point I was going to make with that. I was I was literally just thinking of something. It completely slipped my mind. Damn, I totally forget what I was going to say. Oh, about okay, I remember now. It was about like sharing this live because like I can share it on here, but then on my phone itself because I can't pull it up for whatever reason. Um, Unless I can't. Yeah, no, I can't. Okay, yeah, so that's the thing, like, I can't just directly share it off my phone. I gotta, like, send it to my phone and then share it that way and a whole bunch of loopholes just to jump through. Alright, let's see here. Alright, sent it to myself. Kinda sucks you have to do it like that, but it is what it is, I guess. And I know I had a couple people tell me they might swing by, because it is the middle of the day, so some people are probably busy. All right, so I sent the live out, and it's been 5 minutes. Um, so yeah, I guess one of the things that I um did so like I started to do it at the summer at the after the summer season ended. I did like a seasonal anime awards. So that's something I'm gonna be doing for the fall, and either posting tomorrow on the 31st or Friday on January 2nd. I'm not sure yet which one I'm gonna do, but I do already have like the winners selected and all that stuff. One of them was like a fan favorite, so like I had people on my Instagram and TikTok vote, um, and that was what won that category. But the other 12, I think I have 13 categories. The other 12 are what I selected. They're basically what I thought for each category, and that was the assessment I made. So that was started in the summer, and again, I'm hoping to continue to do it at the end of every season. So that's something that I want to keep doing because I think that not too many people are really doing that. I think that's something that's not necessarily original, but it's something that people can get into. Yo, what's up, Chris? I was just talking about yo, what's up, Rook? I was just talking about I don't know if you guys remember I did the seasonal awards at the end of the summer season, but for the fall season, I'm gonna be doing it again. I'm either posting it tomorrow or Friday. I actually have to make the video, but I already have the winners selected. So I'm gonna be working on that. That's gonna be like my next big post or whatever, since this week's kind of light with seasonals and stuff. Um, but yeah, like y'all let me know in the chat. What was your favorite? I think Chris, we might talk about this already, but what was your favorite anime from the fall season? And if you have more than one, I don't blame you because there's multiple ones that are really good. So let me know which one was your favorite from the fall. Because that's another thing. Like I don't want to just talk about what I thought and what my favorites were. I want to know what you guys think too. Um, welcome in the live, everybody. I really wish I could see like who was all in here, but I know Rook and Chris are in here. So, but yeah, for the people that just came in, I did ask what was your favorite anime from the fall season. That's what like basically we're gonna start with, and then I'm gonna like kind of review all the other ones. Tojima? Okay, yeah, yeah. So me personally, I haven't been watching. Um, I wasn't super into Kamen Rider to begin with, and maybe that's why I didn't even watch this one. But I know a lot of people are liking this one. Um, Silva, Tim, I think everyone from the association pretty much except me was was a big fan of this one. So yeah, yeah, that's fair to say that one. Like I know it's still ongoing, but okay, yeah, maybe I'll do it once 24's out. Oh, hi, Reese. Hi. Welcome to the live. We're talking about I don't know how much in the loop you've been with animes from the fall season, but we're going over animes from the fall season. So hopefully we don't spoil you with MHA and One Piece because I know you're not caught up. So might have to plug your ears a couple of times. But yeah, once we get some more people in, because I was supposed to have Quad and Art come in and talk about the fall season with me. So all Isekai and Banished Court Magician. Okay, Banished Court Magician was pretty good, man. For me personally, it wasn't a favorite of mine, but it was really good. I did enjoy it for what it was. Um, I if there was a season two, I would watch it for sure. So that's interesting. Yeah, I like those favorites being kind of different. Not too many people say those are their favorites, so I like that. Oh shit, Art. Okay, give me 1 second, Art. I have to pull up Discord on my MacBook, and then I'll like call you. Yeah, Reese. Don't get spoiled by One Piece. All right, Art. Give me. I don't know how long this will take. Maybe a minute or so. Hopefully, let's see here. Where's our Discord chat at? Do 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 do. Where the fuck is it? I have to search it. So Art, what I was gonna do. This is what I did yesterday with Tim and Forbes. I had it on my MacBook because I was gonna have you guys, since you're gonna be, on it with me, I was gonna have you guys come out through my MacBook speakers. That way the chat can hear you and it's not just me hearing you and then talking to you, if that makes sense. So that's what I was gonna do, but I cannot find. I don't know how the hell I can't find our Discord chat on here. There it is. Okay. So how do you do a video call on this thing? I honestly don't know how to do it because yesterday Tim called. So let's see here. Damn, bro. I don't know how to call on there. I mean, if anything, Quad can figure it out, or if you guys want, you could just be in the chat. We could discuss it. But yeah, I cannot find out how to do it. First season finally ended for which one, Rogue? What was that for? Oh, here we go. Okay. Yo.
Yo.
All right. You're coming through. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. I don't know if you would know how to add Quad once he gets in here.
Yeah, I think I do.
Okay, cool. All right. I'm glad I got you then because I did not know what I was doing. Okay, yeah. One Piece season 1 finally ended. Oh yeah, Reese, you okay? Windbreaker. Yeah, you did tell me you were watching that. Windbreaker's really good, and I'm excited for season 3 of that. I don't know if I asked you yet, Art, but what was your favorite from the fall?
I'm trying to remember what even came out in fall. The hardest part for me is like what was in what release like schedule, I guess.
Yeah. So I guess you could count
my status.
My status. Okay, I was gonna say I guess you could probably count Gachi Akato because I know you love that.
I mean, I do, but I feel like that was more a spring. Didn't that start in spring?
Summer.
Yeah, it's summer.
Okay.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, if that's when it started, that makes sense. I think my favorite's still MHA. I mean,
and I knew you were gonna pick MHA. I can't wait to listen to you and Quad go back and forth on that.
Yeah. I feel
just can't not do that.
Yeah, I feel like we might just like keep repeating ourselves because we've already discussed it multiple times, but I'm sure we're gonna go back and forth here. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Chris said, "May I ask for one final thing? Tojima, my status as an assassin, my gift level, the unlimited gotcha one, campfire cooking, another world, gotta be my top 5 faves from the fall." That's a pretty solid top 5, I think. What do you think, Art?
That's valid. Those are all. I didn't realize. May I ask for one final thing? That would be my number one. Sure.
Okay. Yeah. It's definitely my top, like either 3 or 5. Like it was actually really good, and I feel like we haven't gotten a female MC like that in a long time, and that was something I really appreciated.
Yeah, and I mean, it has a little bit of everything. Like, obviously, the comedy aspect of it is top tier. Like, the dialogue between Scarlett and Julius is always hilarious. Like, they had multiple characters that were just fun and entertaining to watch be ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it still had solid action and a good amount of depth to the characters. The story was unique.
Yeah, I agree. And I also would add on to that the animation. I feel like Leiden Films did a really good job. They worked on the Rurouni Kenshin remake, and so I just feel like anything they do is like really appealing to the eye.
Definitely.
All right, so Rook said, "May I ask for one final thing? Is she from Brooklyn or Bronx?" And then Reese said, "Ooh, female lead. I'm on that." Yeah, Reese, you would love it. It's really good. You're gonna fall in love with the MC like from episode 1 because like in the first episode she starts throwing hands. So like right away you're gonna be, oh wow, like this chick is awesome. Not to mention, like Art was saying, her dialogue, like the amount of the amount of things she says to people is just hilarious. Like, especially if you do dub, which I'm pretty sure Reese, you prefer dub. Um, it's just so funny. Like you're gonna be laughing every episode, and you're also gonna be enjoying the action every episode too. I feel like
Percent.
I feel like May I Ask might be like the most underrated one from the fall because it had a good amount of people talking about it, but not as much as like it should have been. I feel like it should have been like up there with MHA and my opinion, Spy Family. So to see like not too many people were talking about it kind of hurt a little bit because I'm like, damn, dude, like this was one of the best ones.
So I'm with you on that. Like, it's people. You get people that are like JoJo fanatics that have been going like bananas for it because there haven't been as many.
Right.
But yeah, overall, I feel like it definitely got. I think most people looked at it as, and Silva even said, like, oh, it's just a villainous series. I wouldn't watch that. I'm like, I wouldn't really consider it a villainous series, but maybe that's just me. I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't either because she's not necessarily villainous. She just goes against the kingdom because they're all corrupt.
Yeah,
Like, so it was the thing of like she was in the right and they were in the wrong.
right. I feel like people just see the cover art and they're just like, oh, it looks like every other villainess series. Like it's a girl in a fancy dress, obviously villainess, which is such a weird thing to just look at and go, oh, this is that category.
Right. Yeah. I think it's getting more and more to where we can't judge the animes based off of either the title or the key visual because a lot of times it's completely different when you actually watch it.
Yeah,
Like we
100%.
like we were talking the other day about Days with My Stepsister, like that title just seems like ew, but then like once you actually watch it, it's really wholesome and like actually is not anything weird in it.
It,
So Reese said Luffy type ish, yeah. And then Rook said she was born in the 2000s, equal opportunity. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so I guess we could start talking, start reviewing the fall season actually. So, I know this season you were a little bit busy with other things. Like, how much did you actually end up watching?
I mean, everything that Chris had listed, I think I watched. So, Campfire Cooking, Lemon Gotcha, My Status. I didn't finish Tojima because I'm with you. I know everybody else is talking about it like it's the greatest thing that came out. I got to episode 5 and I haven't continued it since.
Oh dang! So you actually started it and didn't like it.
It's not even that I don't like it. It wasn't. It didn't drag me in. Like the comedy is good. Everybody talks about the style and the animation. It's a turn off for me.
Mm. What do you know? What
I don't know.
studio it is?
I don't. Really.
Okay, Quad most definitely knows.
Oh, I'm sure he knows.
Yeah, and that'll probably be one that we discuss. Once he's in here because I know that he loves it. But so
He does.
yeah, so that and Dusk Beyond the Underworld, he was praising that.
Dust was so. I mean, you saw my comments on that. That series
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah. Um, I honestly, so I don't know if you remember, I for the summer season I did like an anime award thing, so I'm doing that for the fall. And my most overrated was that, and the only reason I say overrated is because every week he would be the one to like put it like up here when it's not really up there. Like I didn't hate it, but it's not way up here. It's kind of like somewhere around here.
Story was so generic and drawn out and just blah. And
Yeah,
it started out that first episode. It seemed like it was going to be deep and intense and like have a lot going on. And then it was just like, here's side characters that don't mean anything.
yeah. The whole A bunch of people refer to it as the incest mafia.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. So, okay, Chris said I think their studio is Light& Films for Tojima. Oh, the same studio as May I Ask. Okay, that's kind of surprising because May I Ask looks gorgeous.
Those are two drastically different looking series. Like
Yeah,
completely.
yeah, for sure. Reese also said opinions on Don Don. I love Don Don. I'm super excited for season 3 in 2027. What about you, Art? What do you think about Don Don?
Yeah, I love Don Don. Okaroon and Momo. Like, how can you not like their dynamic and their relationship and the story? And that freaking cliffhanger, man.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I feel like Don Don is becoming like an expert at cliffhangers based off of the end of seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, so season 3 gonna be lit and let's go. Yep. So everyone, which is a good thing because I feel like Don Don deserves to be loved by everybody. I feel like, of course, we all know episodes 1 and 9 kind of throws people off a little bit, with these sexual innuendos and stuff like that. But like I feel like if you get past that, the storytelling is actually really good. The character dynamics are great. The OSTs are great. Comedy's great. I feel like it just has everything that almost makes it a 10 out of 10 anime.
Really on that.
Yeah, and so I'm a little bummed out that 2027, we have to wait a little bit, but at the same time, it's like I want them to take their time because I want it to be as good of adaptation as it's going to be.
Agreed. I don't know what else Science Saru is working on or planning on working on. I know they did Sonda, but I don't know what else they have, but I'm guessing they'll be able to focus a good amount of their effort on just Don.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for because, like you said, it's only like 2 animes I think we know of that they're working on, so, hopefully they'll just put all their effort into that. So Reese also said, "Yeah, I didn't really like the essay stuff." Yeah, that is very uncomfortable, and I feel like the reason they do that in Goblin Slayer, Sword Art Online, is to make you feel uncomfortable because you want to see the people that are trying to do that get taken out, and that's what is accomplished. They don't do the essay, like, they get taken out and stopped. So, yeah, so Don Don, we got wait a little bit for that, and so what was another I'm trying to go through the list here of the fall animes, let's see here. So you're
The
not
Wild Last Boss was fall.
Yeah, Wild Last Boss was really good. Um, I feel like another cliffhanger. Like I feel like they're just doing it more and more. Like every anime is just becoming a cliffhanger by the end of it. And I get the point. Like, yeah, you want us to come back for the next season, but at the same time, it's like, damn, did you really have to do that?
I feel like we're going back to the days of where it's like we're gonna set up for a season 2, but we're never gonna actually announce if we're getting us. So you're almost like, I'd rather have an ending that makes sense as an ending and not a setup for a season 2 that might not ever come. You know.
Yeah, I
And I
f-
feel like a Wild Last Boss gave you that, like, lore dump. Here's a massive buildup for season 2, and we better get season 2 or else kind of thing.
yeah, yeah. So they did announce season 2 for it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because I feel like in terms of the story, so I feel like they definitely had enough material to be able to produce 2 seasons. I'm pretty sure it's 2026 that season 2 is coming, so we don't have to wait that long. So Rook said, "I want another anime with more runtime like ReZero." I agree. I actually made this so I had a hot take at Anime NYC with the hot take guy. Um, and in that hot take, I told him that ReZero is the greatest isekai of all time, and one of the things that makes it that way for me personally is because of how long each episode is. There's hardly any openings and endings. Like it's just practically straight up storytelling from beginning to end of almost every single episode. So Chris said, I thank God we got season 2 because season 1 felt like it was just getting started, honestly, in my opinion. I agree with that. Rook said 23 minutes ain't enough. I agree with that. Reese said, I love ReZero. I also agree with that. And Chris said, but then again, I felt like season one could have been probably a core. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, because like you were saying, Art, like all the lore that we got there at the end, it's like, yeah, this could definitely be like two cores, like, maybe not necessarily back to back, but if we skip like the winter season, then it comes back in the or not summer, the spring, I feel like
yeah,
it would still hit.
yeah. I'm with you on that.
Yeah. So okay, so we talked about that. I was gonna bring up because I don't know if you've seen the first two seasons, but To Your Eternity season three. Have you even started that show?
I watched season one, and I haven't gone back to it.
Okay. Yeah, so season three, so it's gonna be two cores. It's back to back. For me personally, I really enjoy it. I think the story is like very good. And the emotions you feel, for Fushi and all the characters is also like written very well. And that's something I appreciate about it. I feel like it's low key underrated because it has a good following, but not mainstream following, if that makes sense.
No, like there's a lot of people who swear by it and like love the emotional depth of it, and that's what draw me to it. I honestly just kind of forgot about it and never went back to watching it more as more of it came out.
Yeah, that's fair. Like I said, it's not mainstream. So like if it's not put out, people are gonna forget, and so that does make sense. So Reese said
Yeah,
the concept of ReZero is absolutely fire. I agree with that. A lot of people automatically will push ReZero to the side and either drop it or whatever because of Subaru in the beginning of the show. And I feel like if people just stuck it out more, they would appreciate it more.
no, I'm not the biggest fan.
No,
No,
was it because of
I
Subaru?
no, I mean I had no issue with Subaru. My biggest complaint is everybody's like, man, he survives so much and he deals with so much, and I feel like they ignored the trauma of his ability after season one, and that's what kind of turned me off of it.
Okay. Yeah, I
Because
can.
like initially he had that like huge like impact of, oh my god, what is happening, and then it just kind of became like a immune to it now.
Yeah, yeah, I can kind of agree with that. I just feel like season two dives a lot more into the other characters, and so yes,
Yeah,
Subaru is the MC, but it also feels like these other characters are just as important. Amelia, Rem and Ram, and Beatrice, especially when it gets to you know the parts where Subaru basically saves Beatrice from being stuck in the library. I feel like that is something that really does their relationship justice because by the time you get to season three, they're really close. Whereas before, they were like, Beatrice hated him, would always like shove him out of the
yeah,
room. He would go flying out of the
true.
room and stuff like that. So, um, also, on top of not even just talking about the main cast, but like the villains. The villains I feel like are written really well because I hate them, and that's the point. Like
Right.
you're supposed to hate them. Um, so like once you get into season three and they're kind of going against them, I feel like that is really good. But I do get like how it's not for everybody. Like I know Silva can't stand it, so yeah, it's not for everybody, and
See,
that's fine.
I I don't know. I think it's funny because people do hate him so much, and I feel like I'm weird because I don't hate him as a character. I kind of hate that they made this big deal about his ability, and they just kind of like let it go to the side. Like, okay, that was like my draw to the series because I wanted to like deal with this power trauma, how he would interact with that, and then they just kind of were like, never mind, hard left turn. We went way too hard into that. We're gonna go a different direction.
Mm.
I'm like,
Yes.
oh, okay,
So I will say season three really goes back into him, returning by death a lot, and like
okay,
the
gotcha,
yeah the deaths that he has are very gruesome. Like
gotcha.
I was making like a ugh face like multiple times. Um,
So I might have to get back into it then.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely recommend it myself. And like, so a lot of people are hyping up season 4 because originally what they were going to do with season 3 was it was going to be 40 episodes, and I'm assuming that's I haven't read the source material, but I'm assuming that's based off of the light novels and like how the arcs are written. But so they did 16, and now season 4, as far as I know, is supposed to be at least 24. I'm pretty sure. And a lot of people are hyping it up saying it is the best arc. So I think like as it progresses, it gets better in my opinion.
Sure.
So Rook said, Rook said you hated Gorgeous Tiger. Reese said it's so traumatizing. I love it. But yeah, I feel like he should have stayed affected by the amount of times he's died and how gruesome each death was. But I understand why he can't stay the main focus for story reasons and because it would be crippling. Yeah, I feel like it also helps Subaru's character development because he's not necessarily dying all the time, so he's like actually figuring it out. Because, like I said, season 3 dives into the deaths again, um, and the way that he handles them in season 3 is a lot different than how he handled them in season 1. So I that's another thing I appreciate about season 1, and again, like how it gets better as it goes. Rook also said we still got to get back to Rem. Yes, I think as far as I know, from what I've been told, we
Who's Rem?
you don't know Rem,
Who's Rem?
or are you making a joke?
Come on, dude. That's the whole line. Who's Rem?
I was trying to make sure that I didn't misunderstand before I kept going.
Who's Rem? I don't know who Rem is, man. I never heard of Rem.
Yeah. So, but I was saying, I think that's the main focus of the next arc, I believe. And don't quote me on that because I haven't read the source material. But yes, Reese said true. I think it was written so well. Yeah. So, in my opinion, ReZero is so underrated because it gets overhated, in my opinion.
Well, there's a lot of people that hate Subaru, like to levels I didn't realize people still hated characters. It's like, dude, it's just a series. Like, it's that bad. Just don't watch it. But we know that's not an option for people.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, people are ridiculous with getting their opinion across and saying they're the only ones that are right and whatever. Uh, there was another point I was gonna make. Oh, so one of the things I try to do when I watch anime, especially if it's like a psychological anime like ReZero is, I try to put myself in the character's shoes, and how Subaru acts and reacts to things is probably how I would react because I would be scared out of my mind. I don't know if anyone else does that when they watch animes, but like that's something I do. I know Rob the Weeb. I don't know if you know him, Art, but Rob the Weeb, he also says that he puts himself in character shoes, and I feel like that's a good thing to do when you're focusing on the plot and not just watching it to watch it. You're actually like trying to dive in to the story itself and trying to understand why the character feels the way that they feel.
I don't know how you can watch it and not do that.
Right.
Like, any series. Like,
Yeah. Some people
yeah,
just
I mean that's part of why I liked Peace so much because it's like that on a whole other level of like trauma and like how would you as a child this stuff and be how do you with a whole bunch of trauma? I'm like, yeah, no, this all makes complete sense to me.
Yeah, 100%. So thanks, Reese, for
That
stopping by. I appreciate you stopping by. I know you're busy, so thank you. All right, I think we should actually start diving into the fall season since that's what this is supposed to be about. So,
you
in terms
got
of
a list somewhere because I don't have a list.
yeah, I was gonna go off mine. So, in terms of romance, how much romance did you watch?
Was there any? Was there any?
So my awkward senpai, that was my number
I
one.
did not watch that one.
No, that was my number one comedy. It's an adult romance, and a lot of like, based off the title, a lot of awkwardness, and that's something that I find like cute and funny when I watch romances. Is like if the interactions the characters have don't feel too forced and they're actually awkward because that's how a lot of interactions are with people in real life.
Right? No, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, so that was my number one romance. Comedy wise, I had two that were like my top comedies. Alma-chan Wants to Become a Family and Mechanical Marie. Did you watch either of those?
I didn't.
No. Okay.
I
Um,
did not watch that much from this season, honestly.
yeah,
Nothing really stuck out to me,
yeah.
which is weird. Yeah.
I will say in terms of the year, fall and spring were probably the weakest. So
Yeah.
I do understand where you're coming from. And I know so I would discuss this every week, and I'm pretty sure neither you or Quad watched it, but This Monster Wants to Eat Me. I had that as like the most emotional anime this season.
Another friend who kept telling me that I should watch it, and I just kind of kept forgetting about it. I was like rewatching a bunch of other stuff instead of watching anything new. I don't know why. Should have been watching more of the new stuff. But I heard good things and do intend to watch it.
Yeah. I think in terms of uh the well, okay, in terms of like depression, this show hits the nail on the head about how depression is and how people cope with it. And the MC, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before to you guys in the chat, but basically the MC, her family was killed and she was the only one that survived when she was a kid. And so ever since that day, she just wants her life to end because she blames herself for it. And she meets Shinori, Shiori, excuse me, which is the yokai that discovers her. And a lot of their interactions are very um it's a mix of creepiness and wholesomeness in a way, which is kind of weird to say, but like it doesn't even hit one more than the other. Like it crosses both of them at the same time, and that's something that I really liked as well because it mixed multiple emotions into one, and that's why I think it's the most emotional one. But back to Mechanical Marie, Chris said that was pretty funny. Yeah, in terms of comedy, it was tied for my best one because the reason being that her and the robot version of her were all the time um what's the word, assisting the MC. I forget the MC's name. Arthur, I think it was. But they were like going back and forth, like assisting him, and just their interactions were so funny. And it also like occasionally would go into like the chibi sort of art style, which I think is pretty funny most of the time. I don't think it's funny all of the time, but like for the most part, it's pretty funny. What's your take on like chibi art style?
Love it. I love it as like a comedy device. I feel like it fits well to when, especially with series that like if they're trying to be serious and trying to break up that seriousness, and you just get this moment where you're like, what am I watching right now? Okay, like you immediately know like, okay, this is just comedy and this is fun and lighthearted, and so I like Chibi for that aspect of it.
Yeah. Whether it's comedy or slice of life or both, chibi being a comedy device, like you said, is like perfect for it. And I again feel like that's not something that is in the mainstream. Like a lot of people, most people just want fights, man, and like that's something I don't understand because I'm like, why don't you expand your horizons and actually watch more than just fighting? Like, don't you want to experience all of these different, levels of emotion that you can feel from anime? Because anime has everything. Like, anime hits every genre on the head. And like, if you want to feel sad, you can watch this. If you want to feel happy, you can watch that. So it's like there's multiple animes that have different aspects to them to for me personally to want to watch them all and not just stick to what everybody's talking about it like Solo Leveling and all the fighting animes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't understand why you get stuck in like, no, I can only watch this one genre. And why? Do you only watch one genre of or like real life shows? Like, do you only watch drama? Do you only watch comedies as like real life series? Like, I don't know. It's confusing to me. because, like you said, there's literally everything.
Yeah, and the thing is like,
Series,
so
romance.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but
No, you're good.
one of the things I sort of understand is, everybody has their own preference. Like if you like something more than other things, yeah, but like if you just automatically shut off all the other ones because you feel like you won't like it and you never actually tried it, that's something that kind of irks me because I'm like,
Yeah,
because you're missing out. Like how could you not want to?
you
Yeah,
really are.
yeah. Like how could you not want to witness all these different animes and like I said earlier, like all the emotions you feel, like instead of just, getting hype from a fight, like you can actually feel different influctuations of emotions and like actually feel more than just one emotion. I feel like feeling one emotion is so boring.
With you on that.
Yeah. So okay. So moving on to the next one. I guess I'm not sure what time Quad will get in here, but MHA.
I don't even know. Hold on, let me see if I can. Yeah, well, of course we got to bring him in for that.
Yeah. So me and you, we loved it, and
Yeah,
I feel like the ending, uh, for us, we thought was perfect, albeit we're getting one more, the OVA in May, or yeah, May, right? I think so.
yeah, I think that's what he said.
Yeah. So, I don't know, like take me through your thoughts and emotions like through the last season of MHA and like where do you compare it to everything else?
Compare it to as far as everything else that came out, or
Well, and yeah, so in terms of ones you watched, that is.
so. I mean, I enjoyed it with you. I didn't enjoy it as much as you did. Yeah, it's funny watching you and Quad sit there and argue.
Yeah.
And I told him this, I think, in a live he did a couple weeks ago. I'm like, both of your points, I feel are valid and exist. So it's weird to me that you guys both don't see that they're both two actual things that are happening. Like the issues with Deku in the end are valid to me. Like and being a teacher, and I was on a live last night where people were talking about like how it seemed like he just kind of got abandoned by everybody after the fight, and that was a thing that stuck out to me in the story. Is like he just became a teacher, and everybody else just went off to be heroes, and everybody was like, "Yeah, have fun being a teacher. We're busy."
Mm.
All right, that's kind of like he literally saved all of you, and you just kind of ignored him.
Hmm. See, I think that might be a little bit of perception because I personally would not perceive that as them ignoring him. I would perceive it as they also had the same dreams and goals he did. So why should they let someone not being able to do it stop them from doing what they want to do?
I don't think that would have stopped them. Like that's the thing though is so they were trying to create the suit. Like obviously Bakugo was trying to help create the suit. I feel like the ending was just rushed in that it didn't really have any interactions past the final fight. And if they had kind of expanded on that, it would have given people more of like closure on how everything
Yeah,
kind of worked out with everybody else after that point. Whereas you just kind of got this like time skip jump where you're just kind of like, okay, well, does anybody talk to each other? Is there any real interaction, or is it just kind of like, no, I'm a hero and I've achieved my goal?
yeah, that's another point I was going to make is that we didn't really get to see interactions between them, any of them after the fight. Like you said, we got the time skip. So I feel like that's another reason why it's definitely up to our interpretation of what happened. I don't think there was anything, defined that that did happen in those 8 years. I feel like it's just up to us to be like, okay, well, what did happen? Because I think that's where the difference lies in like how I felt about it and how Quad felt about it was that we perceived what happened in those 8 years differently.
And I feel like that's, as a series, a really weird way to go about finishing your story, where you leave it up to the audience's interpretation instead of like giving us that information. Because you gave us tons of information in previous series seasons. I, I ain't over here. So it just felt like a really weird ending to not really give us a full ending, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can definitely see where where you're coming from when you say that. I think maybe it's different for me because I'm anime only, so the emotions that I felt from the anime were a lot different than people when they read it because and this is the main
And I'm
reason.
in the same boat as you. I didn't read it either. So
Yeah. So like that's the thing is like for me personally, the reason I don't read mangas is because I'm not going to get the same emotions I will from when I actually watch it because we hear the voices, we get music in the background, like there's different things that they add obviously to make us feel these emotions and that's why like I don't think I'll ever read a manga. Like people tell me all the time like read this, read that. I'm like I just want to watch anime because the anime makes me feel a lot different than I would if I just read words off a page.
I'm with you on that. I don't get that emotional depth connection. And it's kind of like how I mean, we talked about a few days ago, I don't remember when, but like the inability for people to separate what they read and what's in their head, what they're seeing and hearing. Like it's such a weird problem that you're like, no, in my head, this was playing and this is what they sounded like. And they did a terrible version of adaptation because it didn't match that at all. Like, okay, you realize that everybody has a different voice in their head when they're reading it. Everybody has different music in their mind of what would be playing in this moment. So why can't you think of it outside of your own head?
Yeah, yeah, I've noticed that too. Like a lot of people just get in their own head and, because it didn't live up to what they expected it to be, then they automatically say it's bad. But like for me and you who are anime only, it's like we watch it and we liked it because we didn't have something that we were trying to compare it to. We just
Yeah.
yeah, we just watched it and we're like, yeah, that was good. Like I've seen some people say Hunter x Hunter anime is bad because they read the manga and it didn't like match or whatever. I'm like, well, I didn't have to worry about that because I'm anime only.
And even if you did read it, you can still just watch it and appreciate it for what it is. Like I don't know what the disconnect is on that aspect of anime and manga and comics in general, where everybody's like, "No, this is terrible and wrong and horrible." Why can't you just appreciate it for what they created? You can't then just be like, "Hey, I like this version. This is the version I like. I'm good with this version," and have it be that. And I don't know why that's such a problem.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I feel like it's about 50-50 in the anime community. Like about half of them do that, and about half of them, uh, you know, make a difference between the two. Like they don't just automatically assume that this adaptation is going to be a 1-to-1, and if it's not, then it's ass. You know?
Well, and then you get the ones that are 1-to-1, and you still complain about it. And you're like, okay, I don't know what you guys want, genuinely.
Yeah. So is that? I'm assuming that's how people felt about One Punch Man. Is like,
Yep,
yeah,
100%.
yeah. So it's like because like Quad keeps saying, and like every time I would send something, it's not because that's how I feel. I would just see it and I know it's gonna rile him up, so I send it. Like that's that's why I send it. But his point,
Yes,
yeah, his point of it being a gag anime or a gag manga originally, I agree with that. Like a lot of people just automatically jump to the conclusion of like because there's fighting in it that like we need it to be like this, you know, battle shonen type of thing instead of it being like an actual like gag story that's being told.
I mean the whole reason it was created was to make fun of battle shonen, so it does make me laugh. Everybody likes it to be one. Was the whole point was to make fun of what that whole genre is. It just happened to be made by a guy who draws really freaking well and created a really good story. So everybody has these weird expectations where it's like, it wasn't supposed to be that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that might be another reason why I couldn't fully get into it was because of that. And I'm just not the biggest fan of those type of stories. But I'm not one to like all these other people were doing all season long, just shitting on it every week. I'm like, I just dropped it and didn't, I would see, like I was telling Quad, it would be on my homepage, like people just posted, but I didn't go out of my way to like look for anything about it. I'm just like, I don't care enough about it to go out of my way to look for it.
Right.
Yeah. So with those ones being said, let's see here what we got. Um were you watching Let's Play every week?
No,
Okay. What
I know
about
I need to.
yeah, that one was honestly very underrated. Um Again, another adult, um it's not necessarily just romance, like it has a mix of a bunch of things. But it's an adult cast, so that was something that was really nice to have. Um yeah, we talked about I keep forgetting though. We talked about My Status because that was one that we were all watching every week.
Oh yeah.
So I actually for episode 12, I've been having this one guy, uh he has been giving me like paragraphs and going in like full detail about the light novel and stuff that happened in the light novel. Um so like I've kind of been getting, a lot of things that maybe I didn't catch while I was watching it in there. So that was something that I really liked is that, I might not necessarily see everything that everyone else sees when I'm watching it, but then people tell me about it. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, like that makes perfect sense for what it was. Um, do you feel like because I know this was sort of a discussion between people, do you think that the pacing was kind of off a little bit, or do you think that it was fine
And may I ask?
for My Status?
Oh, dude, I hated the pacing.
Okay.
Genuinely. My biggest complaint with that series is it felt like you never had any idea of the timeline of how long anything was taking.
Right. Yeah.
So in a way, the story felt like it was super rushed. But if you think about it as like this probably took a span of like a year and a half, suddenly makes way more sense. Unless you think about it that way, it feels super freaking rushed.
Yeah, I think in episode it might have been 10. It was the one where they had the broadcast in Japan. Like it showed Akira's mom and sister like watching the news. They said it had been 1 month and that was it.
See, and that makes it make way less sense to me.
Right.
Because how do you go the travel time alone? Like so many inconsistencies in that respect of the seas. You're like, okay, you guys were using medieval travel methods. There's no way you were going all the way across all these places, doing all these things. So that makes me more annoyed at that 1 month thing.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, how could they have accomplished all that in a month?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I agree with you. I think the pacing was pretty rushed, and in terms of like, especially how fast. No, don't get me wrong. I didn't dislike it, but how fast Akira and Amelia like admitted that they liked each other and like wanted to be together for the rest of their lives. It's like I've known you for 2 or 3 weeks.
And even then, if this all was a month, they knew each other for a week at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's another
Yeah.
that's another thing that was kind of just like, it could have been better. Um, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like
And I
because
mean,
oh, go ahead.
you have the complaint where people are like, "Oh, then you have romance animes where they don't even like hold hands at 12 episodes." And I'm like, okay, I get that. They went from meeting each other in a dungeon, he saves her, and then immediately now they're married. Like you can't tell me that wasn't a marriage proposal and her accepting it in that moment. That's exactly what that was.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's literally a cutout of a ring in their like on their fingers. Like
Yeah.
yeah. So
So like, no, I'm not gonna buy the propaganda that like, oh well, everything else takes way too long, and now you guys are mad that this is fast. No, man, like they jumped from meeting to married instantly.
yeah, like it has to come to a medium of like actually seeing development. Like, yeah,
Yes.
we want to see them get to that point at the end, but we don't want to see them get to the point a week after they met each other.
Yep. Yeah, for real.
Like,
it made no sense to me. I love the series for the art and the animation and the story overall, but yeah, there's so many little like things that just bug me as I'm watching it that I just kind of took me out of what I enjoyed about it because they annoyed me so much.
yeah, so Chris is agreeing with us too on that. And another thing that I felt was super rushed was Saran's death. Like it happened in like the second or third, somewhere around there episode. So I'm like, we hardly saw, because like my thing is like the way that they portray Akiba's attachment to him was as if he knew him his whole life, but like he knew him
That's
for
what I'm saying. With like, if you looked at it from like it being like a year and a half to 2 years that they were in this world, everything makes way more sense.
yeah,
Because if he spent like 6 months training with him, I could kind of understand that. But yeah, if you look at it from just like how they gave it to us, he knew him for what, maybe 5 days, and then he was dead, and then he obsessed over this man's death, like more than he cared about his own family. It felt like, which was supposed to be like this huge trigger point, plot point of the series, was like, oh, I can't kill because my family, I'll never be able to interact with them. Okay, you like gave way more of your own emotional depth to this one man that you met for a very short amount of time, and you showed towards your own family. Like, it just didn't really line up, you know?
yeah, I agree with that. Because like when it gets to the point of the message that he left for him, he's literally like bawling his eyes out, and
Dude,
like,
he lost his freaking mind over that.
yeah, like the only thing I could try to maybe come up with, and maybe this is like, just pulling it out of my ass. But like my thing is like, oh, he didn't have a father figure, so like Saran was like his father, and he's like, oh, like this is like the perfect role, and then he's killed, and then he's like, oh, I don't have a father again, or something like that.
And I could get that, but again, it comes back to the amount of time that they would have had to interact with each other. It just, how do you make these connections that fast? Like, and if you're making these connections that fast, I don't see how you're making such a big deal about, oh, if I kill somebody, it'll change me forever. Like, bro, you've been changed forever since you got to this world within a week. So what's the difference, man?
Yeah, like this was one of my arguments to people that were basically saying like, oh, he's an assassin, but he's not assassinating everybody. My argument was, he was just thrown into this world, and obviously he has never done it before, so you can't just automatically flip a switch and start killing people. Um, so like that was something that like I could kind of see both sides, and obviously like I want to see him kill people, like because like especially the evil like Graham and people like that, like who are doing evil in this world, like they need to just go. And so like,
I'm still so frustrated that we didn't even get that part. Like, all that build up, we didn't even get to see him die. Come on, man. Hero me nut.
yeah,
Like,
I agree with
you
that.
literally got to the point the knife is at his throat, and then you're just, okay, moving on. Like, dude, that was like the whole big build up of this whole series, and we didn't even get that. Come on.
Yeah, I remember when I was reacting to it, I was like, are we gonna go back to that? And then we didn't. I was like, what the heck?
Nope. Nope.
Because then it just showed like it just went to him coming back to Crow's place,
Yes.
and then they're all like, did you do it? Like, oh, Quad's in here. Maybe we can get him on the call.
Do you know how to join just a Discord group chat thing in his Discord?
That's what I was trying
Like,
to.
he has just a chat channel.
That's what I
I
was.
just called you.
Okay. Yeah,
So
because
if you go to the server and you see voice channels,
yeah.
just click on that and join voice.
Okay.
All right. There he is.
Quad's in.
Yo.
What's up, Quad?
Okay, that's weird.
We were talking about my you were right. We were talking about my status.
Gotcha.
Basically, we were saying that we felt the pacing was very rushed, and like a lot of the things that happened didn't make sense to happen in the span of a month. I think you agree with that, right?
Right. I mean, there had to be some sort of time dilation there.
Yeah, because like, so one of the points we brought up was his relationship with Saran. It felt like there was no reason for him to be that attached to him in the span of a couple days.
Right. Like if you only spent like a week training with him, it's like, all right, well, either he's like really, really into that guy, or you know,
Yeah. So
or
one of the
yeah, it makes sense.
right. So one of the things I was like, oh, like, I might pull this answer out of my ass, but like, he didn't have a father figure. So like Saran was like his father figure, and then like he's killed. So now he doesn't have a father again or something like that. But I feel like that's just like stretching it. Like that's definitely not, the reason.
Yeah, if that's the only reason, then yeah, he needs to go to a therapist more than get revenge.
Yeah. Cause like Art brought up the fact that like, if he feels that way about those people, then why is he making such a big fuss to kill other people? Like he almost has like no emotional attachment uh to anybody in terms of, people he doesn't know.
Right. Like I feel like he'd kill the hero in a heartbeat.
Right. Like cuz especially the way that they portray him being a loner, and like every time they bring up, "Hey, like, why don't you join the soccer run?" He's like, "Nah, I'm good."
Yep. Right.
Yeah. So Chris said, I thought it was funny that when he killed the guy that nobody actually cared that he killed somebody. Yeah. So Art was pointing out how like we didn't actually get to see it. Like they just showed him about to stab him and then moved on to him telling them, "Yeah, I killed him." And then they're like, "Oh, okay, we forgive you."
Yeah. And
Cool. On to the next place. What? Oh, okay. Like,
I don't know.
You set up so many big plot points and then just kind of ignored them. Like,
yeah,
just,
I thought it was a little weird.
Yeah, for sure. And I do wish that we would have got that, but it seems that season 2 is going to take quite a while cuz they adapted 4 out of the 5 volumes of the light novel. So I'm assuming that we're going to have to wait like at least 3
Yeah,
years.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So so go backtracking a little bit cuz this is one of the things we want to discuss cuz obviously you and I quite have a difference of opinion of this with MHA. You tell, the people in the chat and stuff
We
like
really,
that.
we really have to talk about
I mean, if you don't
well,
want to, we don't have to.
it. I mean,
part of the fall series. So, as much as you
okay.
don't want it to exist, it exists.
Yeah, it's not that I don't want it to exist. I want it to be good.
Yeah, so I mean, I was just gonna ask if you could tell the chat like what your grievances were with it and why you did not like it.
I just think it was a poor showing for superheroes. I think Shy does superheroes better.
Hmm.
That series was good.
It is good, yeah.
My whole point that I've stressed to you guys is the fact that he learned absolutely nothing from the start of the series to the end of the series. How did he grow? He didn't. He didn't grow. He started off quirkless. He was given a quirk because he looked pitiful to the number one hero, who gave him the most powerful quirk in the entire world. And then, yes, he goes and does good things with it. Great. But then when he finds out he's going to lose it, it's gone. He quits. He just gives the hell up. He doesn't try to do anything more. He doesn't. Or at least, okay, I'll give you this. They don't show him doing anything but teach for 8 years. So that we don't hear about him doing any acts of good works, trying to start some sort of quirkless movement, anything to show that he could show people that just because you don't have a power doesn't mean you're powerless.
Mm.
That's it. And so he just gives up, and then they give him a suit, and he rolls on like, hey, I can be a hero again. Yay. And that's all it was. He's selfish and learned absolutely nothing from the sport.
Yeah, so going back to your point of like the 8 years, so Art and I were talking about this before you hopped in. I think that was where our differences lied because they don't show us what happened in the 8 years, it's up to interpretation. And I think that we just interpreted what happened in those 8 years differently because the mangaka chose not to tell us or show us anything that happened in those years. So I feel like it's just up to us to interpret it. And I think that's just the only thing that made me feel differently than you did was just because like I perceived it one way, you perceived it another. And I think that's fine. But like I do agree because Art was saying that that's not how you should end a story. I do agree with that. I feel like you shouldn't just like leave it up to interpretation. Like you should tell us the end, like and let it be the end, if that makes sense.
And I'll go ahead and tell you, in the well, you know what? No, I won't. I won't tell you what's going to happen in May.
Oh,
Let
okay.
you experience it.
Okay. So does it make you feel any different or the same?
No, it's more or less the same.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, there's really not. It doesn't answer anything further, really. It just shows a little bit more of the future, and that's it.
Okay. And that's one thing that I respect is that you stick to how you feel about it and not just like, based off of like all these other people saying like how good it is, like myself included, that you stick to not liking it. And I think that's fair.
I mean, again, I don't think it's a horrible show. Like, I mean, there's plenty of worse shows out there. Fruit Bastard.
You really hate that series.
I really hated that series. Oof, not awful. Like, people want to bitch about One Punch Man. At least One Punch Man was funny in like an intended way. Fruit Master was. Ugh.
Yeah, so about One Punch Man.
In the other room and he goes, "Oh, don't talk about that here."
So about One Punch Man, we were talking about that earlier, and I rib you like every week because I'll see something and I send it, because I know it'll rile you up. But a lot of people, obviously, as we know, shit on it and stuff like that. And I feel like in terms of part two, like what we're gonna get from what I've been told, because I haven't read it, but what I've been told is gonna be a lot better than what we got in part one. Is that correct?
Well, there's going to be more action. Yes.
Okay.
See, that's my problem with people that were complaining about it is it sets it up they went by the manga. Okay, they did not differentiate in any way. They did how it plays out, and guess what? In the manga, it's boring as hell. It's just a lot of talking, a lot of setup, and then we have some really good fights.
Yeah, I feel like we're getting to the point where majority of the anime community is not caring or appreciating about building up to something. They just want to see the end all result sort of thing. Like they just want to see the fight happen. And it's like we need a reason why. Like we can't just automatically jump into it and be like, okay, like these people are fighting, like, but why are they fighting?
Like that's one thing that kind of annoyed me also with My Hero was everybody, was super into like, oh my god, the fight with All Might, the fight with Shigaraki, the fight with All for One. They poured all that action into the first 7 episodes. Technically 6, in my opinion. I think they really blew their wad on the Bakugo fight, and then after that, it was really way less, in my opinion. Like I don't know, I'd be curious to know how you felt about that, but then after that, it was like after the fight with All for One, it was just boom, just all right, nothing but exposition, right? I didn't hear people complain about that. And I mean, I know it's the end of a series, but you mean they couldn't throw another fight in or something or extended a fight? I don't know. But I didn't hear people complain about that. But when One Punch Man does it in reverse, everyone hates it. I mean, how do you want a board meeting drawn 17,000 frames per second for some reason? That's what the part I didn't understand is like they're sitting around a table talking. What do you want them to do exactly?
Yeah. So before I get to that,
the guy who complained about reincarnated as a slime being a boardroom simulator. I don't know, man.
Right? Well, that was a whole season. That was wow.
Yeah.
That was not a whole season. That was 4 episodes at most.
It was
5.
It was
5.
Oh, it was 5. Just 5 episodes.
It was 5 the whole season of them doing their whole politics thing.
Okay. For some reason, I thought it was like half of the season, but it was only 5.
I consider it 5 total. Like the other half of the 6th episode was kind of that way.
Okay. Well, real quick, I just want to point out, welcome, Blushy. I'm glad you could finally make it. And I know that MHA is your number 1 anime, so I'm curious to hear some of the thoughts that you have about MHA, because I believe you just watched the final episode. I think the dub ended. So I'm curious to know your thoughts, if you could let us know in the chat. But yeah, so going back to season 3 of Slime, a lot of people gave that a lot of flack because of it just being dialogue, because like I said, they don't want to see build up. They just want to see the fights. And I'm like, we need a reason why. And that's the thing, like season 4 was announced for 5 cores. So like we're gonna get a lot of, stuff happening in that, plus the movie before it. So like I feel like season 3 was perfect for setting up what's gonna happen in those 5 cores.
Well, I think what people got upset about is because the first 2 seasons did kind of a mix of it, right? I mean, there were some boring parts where they were setting up world building, but then there was good action and mixed in. See, that's my problem with a lot of anime now is they don't seem to be able to find that mix and that blend of let's do some story, let's do some action, world building, some lore, maybe some mystery, whatever, and mix it up, because that's the best way to do it. That way people don't get bored.
I do agree with that. So Blushy said, I honestly love the ending. I wasn't mad at it, but super sad it is over. And then, okay, so she's going to come back in a little bit. So thanks, Blushy, for joining and giving us your take on MHA. That's one thing I appreciate is like the fact that, we can have differences of opinion, but we can still talk about it, because that's the beauty of watching anime, is that you can, feel differently than other people. And for the most part, there's some people out there that take it too far, but for us, we can discuss it in a, whether or not we're arguing with each other on Discord or something. At the end of the day, we're still friends. Like, we're not gonna like shit on each other because oh, you don't agree with me. Like, that's how a lot of people act nowadays.
I mean, I'm not gonna like break up a virtual friendship over some stupid anime decision or whatever. I mean, it's just like you guys love Seven Prince. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a controversial one for people too. Like, I the points that you and other people make in terms of why you don't want to watch it, I completely get. Like, I don't disagree. I think that those are valid statements for people to make and for them not to want to watch it.
The fun one to throw in is Mushoku Tensei. Just throw that in there and just see how people react.
Yeah, I mean, that's another one where I like it, but I completely understand why people, get thrown off by it because of the stuff that Rudius does.
Love your ED arc. We know. It's okay.
I will say I'm excited for season 3.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't really. I watched the whole first season. I didn't watch the second season, so
yeah.
I don't know. I guess I got to catch up.
Yeah,
you missed the ED arc, man. You missed peak storytelling.
Yeah, I'm good. Maybe I won't watch it.
I will say that only is like the first couple episodes of season 2, and then so another point that people bring up is the relationships Rudius has with all the other girls. Obviously, it's like he's having his own harem sort of thing. I do agree with people being thrown off by that, because, it should just be like, I was saying this a couple days ago. I prefer one-on-one relationships. I don't like I'll watch harems, but I watch harems for comedy, not for the romance. If I want a romance, I'd rather see something like Fragrant Flower, where it's a one-on-one relationship.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so like again, I understand where people come from with Diddy Tensei, but for me, there's other elements to it that I enjoy, and like same with Fire Force. Like people just turn it off because of the fan service. So I'm like, there's so many other good things about it that make me enjoy it and want to see more. And that's why, like with season three, you know, people are saying like, oh, the animation's not up to par and stuff like that. I didn't care. The story that they're telling and all the lore drop that we got made me hooked, and I wanted to keep watching. And I've been hooked since the cliffhanger of part one until we're getting part two in January.
What? And Fire Force doesn't make any sense to me, really. If a girl's clothes burning away is and she's not naked, like you don't see anything. If that is your biggest barometer for why you're not gonna, watch something, then there's gonna be a lot of shows you're not gonna be able to watch.
Right. I feel like
You can't handle a bikini. I don't know what to tell you, man. Genuinely. I mean, and I get it. Everybody has a line for what they feel like is past their line. I get that. That's fine. Stop acting like your line is the correct line and everybody else is wrong if they don't agree with your line. Like that's
Right.
my biggest problem with the entire freaking community at this point.
Like you have to adhere to some invisible standard.
yeah, and that's the thing. It is invisible. Like it does not exist. It's just what people. It's all about how everybody perceives it, and like we're gonna perceive it a lot differently than other people that as soon as they see something that's fan servicey, they're like, yeah, that's it. But like oh, go ahead.
The ones that kill me are the hypocrites. Those are the ones that kill me. Okay, I'll give you an example. So there's a person that I know on TikTok that has a very big problem with fan service in anime in general. She does not like it. She's not a big fan of it. Blah blah blah. Right? And she'll refuse to watch, a majority of shows if there's what she considers an excessive amount of fan service. And like one of hers was she wouldn't watch Backstab because she felt that was too much fan service. Okay, so and all that was basically cleavage, right? I think that's what we all agree on.
Right.
So say, when was there fan service in Backstab? What was I watching?
I would just make huge yitties and and cleavage. Like that's apparently her standard for fan service, right?
Okay.
Meanwhile, this same person reposted a video of Gojo, the Gojo, a woman showing off her Gojo figure. I don't know if you've seen it. That has
removable pants one.
Yes, that one.
Yeah. I just saw someone post about that. I found that hilarious.
So, meanwhile, fan service when it comes to that is not okay. Meanwhile, you're going to post up about a Gojo with removable pants. I think there's a little hypocrisy in that, just a smidge. And I think it's kind of dumb. And not to mention, I think it's hilarious that women are fawning all over Gojo when he wouldn't want them if he was real. So.
Damn. Calm down, Jesus.
What? I'm just saying, unless their name was Ghetto and they were male, he wouldn't want them.
That is true.
He does love his Gato. He does love his Gato.
Yeah. That to me is perfect irony that all these women just goon over him and then, he doesn't like women.
They're different. They're not objectified. Don't you understand the difference?
Objectify the dog mess out of him.
But it's not objectified in the story. He's just a dude living his life. It's different. Don't you get it?
Okay, how are they objectifying any of the women in Backstab?
Dude, you know me by now. You know I'm not.
I know. I'm just that was a rhetorical question. I wasn't actually asking.
All right. I just had to make sure. Like, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
No, because we understand. There's fan service for fans. It doesn't matter who the fan is. They're servicing the fans.
And I get the complaint that people worry about, like, well, why is it targeted towards teenage boys? Like, yeah, I get that. But at the same time, because they're going to buy it. And we all know that. Like, you cannot tell me that a 13 to 18-year-old kid isn't going to be like, oh, well, that's exciting. Why? But I'm excited. I want more of it. Like, clearly, we know why.
It's just like why they make Yaoi, Yao, or whatever, however you pronounce it.
Yowie.
Yowie.
However you pronounce it.
Welcome back, Blushy.
You think they do that for gay men?
Definitely not.
Not that much, but it's also a different. Again, so this is what bugs me. Everyone is like, well, Japan is different, but they pick and choose what's okay for Japan to be different on. Like, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's frustrating.
That does make sense. I never even thought of it that way too, but now that you mention it, like, actually, yeah, like they pick and choose what Japan is weird about. Like, you know, not everything they produce is weird, but we can all agree there is some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I think people just generalize it. They're like, oh, well, they like incest, so like that means all stuff that comes from Japan is weird. Like, no, that's not the case.
Do they play on those tropes? Yeah.
Yeah.
So oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna point out, Blushy. So she's saying I did cry listening to the ED song of MHA, and she's not ready for it to be over. I agree with that. I loved it. You know, whether or not we get a good ending with the epilogue or not, for me, it remains to be seen. Obviously, Quad already knows. But yeah, Blushy, I think that you're gonna love it as much as you love MHA. I think you're gonna love it no matter what.
Hey, don't worry. The better My Hero comes out next month.
So, okay, so you are in the group that thinks Vigilantes is better?
I like Vigilantes better, yes.
Okay. Okay, so she also said, I bet One Piece takes my top anime eventually, but right now, for the people who don't know, MHA is my top one for now. Yeah, I really do think that with One Piece, once you actually like get into it and it's actually like to the point where you want more and more, then it's gonna become your number one.
No, this is gonna. Okay, this is all hypothetical. I don't want anything bad to happen to him, but I'm just saying it's gonna be hilarious when we get 3 more years of this, and God forbid something bad happen to Oda, and the ending does not happen.
That would break a lot of people's hearts.
I laughed my freaking ass off.
I knew you'd say that, Art.
Not that I want it to happen, but it would be hilarious because it would just be freaking hilarious.
I'm not wishing for anything bad to happen to him, obviously. I mean, I do. He's made this massive thing. I just think if for some reason he couldn't finish it and you don't get what the One Piece is, would be the biggest slap in the face for all these fans that have watched it for years, like generationally.
Yeah, that would be so. I haven't been, watching it for a year. Like I started like 2 years ago. But I can 100% already know. Like I have a cousin that has been watching it since it came out, and I know that he would be devastated if that were to happen. And like I can't even imagine how people would feel because people get so attached to it.
There's gonna be legitimate riots.
Right. Like, and then people are gonna be coming up with their own endings. It would be
The
like,
fan fiction was kind of hard.
yeah, they're gonna be like, well, this is what the One Piece is, and then like, yeah, that would just be insane.
Riots about what the actual One Piece is.
Yeah. So,
Everyone's over here panicking about World War III when what we really needed to fear was the two different sides of the fandom of One Piece having to figure it out themselves and going to war. Right? Would be the next World War III.
So, Blushy's saying MHA over Vigilantes for her, but Vigilantes is really, really good. And then she said that would be catastrophic if that happened to Oda. She said, "Here I am trying to get caught up as fast as I can," and said literal fights would occur. Yeah,
So for me, so like I started watching One Piece when it was on 4Kids, when it was like totally different because 4Kids decided to do a whole bunch of weird stuff, and I was a kid, and then I picked it back up in like my early 20s and got caught up through what were they up to at that point? I think remember the mermaid arc? I don't remember what it was called.
Oh, you're talking about Fishman Island?
Yeah. And I got caught up to Fishman Island, then I took a break until my early 30s and I picked it back up again. So it's kind of just insane that I've been able to watch this series for basically the entirety of my life at different points.
See, I remember watching it when it first dropped, and like, I didn't like the animation. I couldn't stand it, so I was like, I'm not watching this. And then I think, like you said, Art, I picked it back up. I can't remember which. I think it was the one Fishman. It was what was the one with Nico Rob with Baroque Works?
Oh, you talking about Enos Lobby?
I don't know. Yeah, where the one where Nico Robin was the bad guy. Well, Miss Sunday or whatever.
Oh, that was.
Oh, that's Alabasta.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember picking it back up and trying to rewatch it, and I was like, no, I still don't like it.
It definitely is a unique art style, and I get why people are like, I get why people don't want to watch it for so many reasons. Like, the 1155 episodes, get that. The animation art style, totally get that. Is it a great story as a story? Yes, I get that too.
I actually agree with you. I think the story is actually good. I don't disagree with you on that. Okay. So for everybody that thinks I hate One Piece, I don't. I just don't care to watch it. It's just, to me, I hate the way they do the story with, the fact that they're limited to the Grand Line and yet there's still 100 islands. And every island has to have 100 freaking characters that you have to learn. And then, we move to the next island and, rinse, repeat. And I'm like Marineford was probably, to me, the most exciting because it actually had real world consequences. Stuff happened. It was good fights and everything, but it still took way too damn long.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all that because I feel like One Piece's weakness is its pacing. Like the story is phenomenal, but they do stretch a lot of arcs out. And like you said, like 100 characters per island. Like, dude, like we don't need to know all these people because we're gonna forget them in 20 episodes.
Even if we don't forget them, they literally never go back to them. Like they don't exist once you leave the islands. So why did we need to spend so much time on them?
Right. Everyone has to have a backstory. We have to know the feelings for everyone. No, we do not. Can we go there, maybe have some backstory on what happened on this island, do what we need to do, get the hell off.
Yeah, so Blushy said, I recently saw some of the 4Kids dub. It's hilarious. She said she's in Alabasta now on episode 85. Just met Chopper and he's my whole personality now. And she said, don't ask me to remember anyone's name unless it's a core character.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I would say,
Go ahead.
I would say, with the exception of a select few characters that in the recent arc of the anime we have seen uh, throughout the series have been in the newest arc. But I think that's just because we're now coming full circle with stuff that happened like 800 years ago in the world of One Piece. So that's why they're kind of like bringing everybody from the beginning to this point.
Like, for instance, name me one character from the Wano arc that wasn't Odin or the daughter.
Oh gosh. Man. I mean, obviously there's Kaido. I mean, he fights Kaido, but
Okay,
like
Come on.
everyone knows that.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Or-
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like other than like the main ones, I can't name you any.
But how many did he introduce?
Oh gosh, probably at least 75.
Yeah,
How
that's what
many
I'm saying.
times did we have to get the cut to them playing the freaking music on the Wano during that fight? Like, can you imagine if you actually counted how many times we got that random cut? And you know exactly which cut I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, that was so freaking frustrating to watch. And like every episode 5 times after this, 5 times every episode, really?
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
mean, you know, that's what I'm saying. Is like it is at the core of it is a very good story, but clearly he just doesn't like he's made it up as he went along, and I don't think he even knows how to end it at this point. Like he's just literally just like it's a self-perpetuating cycle.
so I do think that he had the ending to begin with, but everything in between, I agree that where you say he's like coming up with it on the fly, because I don't think he knew how to tie it together, but he knew what he wanted to be at the end.
The longest tie together series in the history of mankind, right here.
Yeah,
It really is. It's a great story, but like, come on, man. And I think it's so
I know
frustrating.
the end, and I don't know anything in the middle.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. I don't know when, I don't know how, but we'll get there eventually. Like, all right, bro. If I have to hear any more people tell me, "Oh no, we're in the final bit now," like, I've been hearing that since I think 2018.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's been doing the Elbaf arc since the beginning of last year. And he claimed that was the last arc. And we're still going. I mean, it's going to be another 3 to 5 years before we maybe see an end.
yeah.
And for you anime onlys, oh my God.
Well, so that's the thing.
I get it when I'm 60.
That's the thing, though. Like for us anime onlys, is if we don't pick up the manga, we're gonna find out what it is before we watch it, because everyone who reads it is gonna say what it is.
Well, I mean, and now that it's going seasonal, oh man, it's going to be even worse.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna take even longer. So Lushy said, "I thought the One Piece was gonna be the journey, but I heard he said it's tangible. I must know what it is. I hope so because I gotta catch up." Yeah, a lot of people joke that the One Piece is the friends we made along the way. But yeah, friendship. So like people are,
The
you know,
power of friendship is the One Piece.
yeah.
I love telling that to people that are talking about it and they lose their freaking. Oh, he said it will not be that. It's already been confirmed. Like, all right, calm down. It's a joke.
Mhm.
So chill. It's okay.
I will say no matter
It would be hilarious if it was.
that would be hilarious, but I will say that when it gets revealed, there's gonna be 50-50 of people loving it and people hating it. Like you're not gonna please every single person.
100%.
Yeah. Like there's no way everyone's like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. Some people are gonna be like, what the hell is this?
It's going to be Roger's oldest son. He's actually the One Piece. He's been chilling.
That would be funny. But yes, I think we've been on One Piece for way too long. We got to get to some of these other fall ones here.
Well, just like One Piece.
Right. Yeah, so, one I'm surprised we haven't even brought it up yet, Gachiakuta. That one was a personal favorite of ours, and I think that all 3 of us can agree that it was one of the best ones during the summer and the fall season.
Yeah, it was great.
Anime of the year. I've told you a million times already. That's my anime of the year. It had literally everything. It had drama. It had trauma. It had comedy. It had action. It had a great story. It had everything you could ask for from every series. I felt like exists inside of this series, which doesn't really happen too often. And it's gorgeous to look at. Like, obviously, that's Bones' next project, like big project that they're going to focus on with MHA being done. And I'm looking forward to more of it for sure.
Yeah, we do have to be a little careful what we say because well, she hasn't watched 23 or 24 yet, because she does dub. My brother in the chat said Loki one of the best unique art styles. I agree with that. It's a very, very unique art style, makes it stand out from a lot of others. And Blushy also says someone the other day said they didn't like the animation style, and I was, yeah, I agree with that. Why would they not like it? It's really good. Like Bones has done a phenomenal job with it.
I don't know what you like then if you don't like that.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like normally we're like, yeah, we respect other people's takes, but if you don't like that, then there's something wrong with your eyes.
I genuinely don't know. I guess because it's like gritty and dark, but even then they throw in elements of like tons of color in the graffiti, which it makes sense for the world after.
Right.
I don't get too emotionally riled up about takes, but that genuinely annoys me.
Yeah, I was gonna say that this is Art's baby right here. I don't know. See, I'm it's because I'm the same way. There are some shows I don't like the art style. I can't fault people if they don't like it. Now, if they say they don't like the art style, that's I mean that's everybody's personal opinion and their preference. Now if you tell me like, well, I didn't like the story or things like that, then that's more of an argument.
Yeah. I think a lot of people confuse the difference between art style and animation style. Like the animation is great. I could sort of like I don't agree with it, but I could sort of understand why some people might be thrown off by the art style because it is different. But to say the animation style is bad is like that makes no sense.
No, animation's fine. I mean,
I don't know what you want from an animation outside of what they give you. Like everything moves, everything moves. Isn't it's not PNG man, it's not one punch frame. Everyone loses their mind over. So I don't know what you could look at in that animation and go, oh, it's just not good enough for me. What is it missing? I guess is what I'm missing.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm with you guys. I mean, I thought it was great. I don't think for me it wasn't number one. I mean, To Be Hero is still, but I mean, Bugatti Akira was great. I loved it. I thought it's definitely, for me, it started out really slow. Like it was, those first like 4 or 5 episodes, definitely a lot of setup. And then basically once it hit that point, it was like, all right, here we go.
Yeah. So Blushy said the color pops are amazing to me. I love it because it's so dark and grungy. The colors really pop in a great way. I agree with that. Chris said for real they be hating just to hate. I agree with that as well. And I believe she's asking Quad this. She said, "Is To Be Hero your favorite?"
Yes, The Hero was my number one of the year, hands down.
I do agree that. Oh, go ahead.
I liked a bunch, but To Be Hero to me, it was just so different and so wild and made me think every week because there was no source material. Like it was like an old school TV show. So you had to try and figure it out. And then, once we got everything kind of laid out, we figured it all out. It was amazing.
Yeah, I do agree.
I feel like that's one aspect of the series that people overlook is that it is an anime only source. So when you look at it from that perspective, like that's an insane feat to pull off because everything else is based off of something and they just have to color and animate it. They already have everything. The fact that they pulled all that off with nothing Like that's a pretty incredible feat in itself.
Yeah, so Blushy said To Be Hero X is different than anything I've seen. Also for Dub, I was not expecting Christopher Sabat as a dog. Season 2 is going to be wild, going straight into a huge fight. So, yeah, I was going to point out how I agree with you guys. How I feel like it was the number one in terms of what was the best. For my personal enjoyment, Spy Family was my number one. But I do agree that To Be Hero X unique take on the storytelling and the how many times they changed the art style and the animation style, and it made
That
it
was
very
wild.
right. It made it very unique, and it also kind of played into the plot because of X.
Oh, dude, that episode 24, hands down, best episode of the year. There was so much switching, so it was so seamless, fluid, and I could keep track of where X was at all points. He's launching through walls, inside alternate dimensions. I mean, and yet it wasn't like off-putting to me.
Yeah, the fluidity it had was like perfect. Like they did not mess it up at all. Like it looked great flowing from one animation style to the next. So
Yeah,
Chris said Christopher Sabat as that dog was so funny, and he agrees with Quad.
Yeah.
Veggie dog.
yeah, that was pretty funny hearing Vegeta coming out of Ahu.
Yeah. Did we really get too much of him? Because I know he had like a
No.
huh?
Okay,
But-
here's my take on Spot. I think he's got a great voice, but to be fair, he has zero range. He does not have any range whatsoever. Like Vegeta.
It's different voice for every character, 100%.
But that's his shit. I mean, and he does it well, so I don't fault him for it.
I've heard him play a couple. How do I word this here? Um, we'll just say high pitched, I guess, sort of characters. Like it's a different take than like his super low bass sort of a voice that he plays. Like Zarbon, for example. Like Zarbon's like a lot, high up, at least for someone that with a voice that deep. So like I've heard it occasionally, but I do agree that like his range is like so like I don't want to call him one trick pony, but like yeah, he is like just only really good at deep voices.
Like he stays in the middle, and he knows where his bread is buttered at, so he stays there. So, like I said, I don't fault him for it, but he just doesn't have a lot of range when it comes. Like, I mean, Alex Lee, like he's a young up and comer, and he's got really good range. Like, and you can tell he puts all of his effort and thought into that stuff.
Yeah, 100%. Like he's one of the best I think that have come in the past like 5 years or so. So Chris said having no source material for that series was the icing on the cake for me. Yeah, we agree with that. And the hell yeah, that last episode was amazing. So yeah, the way that because I think Blushy pointed out earlier how next season we're just going to jump straight into a fight, which is that tournament that we're supposed to be getting.
I wouldn't expect that at all.
Yeah.
Not with that show. It's going to probably be like 10 years ago, and here we go.
He's gonna throw us for a loop and go in some completely different direction, and then like the back half will suddenly touch on that tournament all of a sudden out of nowhere after going into some backstories about some nonsense. I could see that happening 100%.
Yeah, I'm not. When it comes to that show, I'm just expectations are they're high, but my knowledge of what's going to happen is absolutely zero, and I love it.
Yeah. So she also said Alex Lay is also just the shit. I've listened to his story and he forced himself into this industry. I love it. Which yes, I think I did hear about that. He kind of like lied on his resume about like stuff that he had worked on before and he didn't actually work on those projects or something along those lines. And then she said, okay, true. I could see To Be Hero X going into some backstories, making us wait. So yeah, I think that most likely would definitely happen. The way that they are very story driven in To Be Hero X, especially with how many arcs we got and how many heroes we got. I think they'll definitely do backstories on that before we jump into the tournament.
And it wouldn't even be bad if they did, because there's plenty about that world we still don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, I had some people like they were confused on the power system, like they didn't understand it, which it got to a point where I remember I want to say it was for ESOL, the new ESOL. It kind of just jumped from like no power at all to being super strong, but his um whatever they called the numbers, like the people that believe in you or whatever, it was only one. So like, how did you get that strong with one person?
Trust value.
Right? Yeah, trust value. Yep. So like, I could kind of understand some people when they're like a little bit confused on it, but I don't think that took away from anything that the show did. Like the show was 10 out of 10.
100%.
Yeah. So I don't know if they've had any announcements on release date, have they?
No, it's not. It's going to be a little while.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Bless you. Appreciate you joining. Um, glad we got to accommodate for your time because I know we were trying to figure out a time where you could join me. But yeah, I appreciate you being here and commenting. Appreciate it. All right. So, was there any other animes that you guys wanted to discuss particularly about the fall season, or do you think we covered the ones we wanted to talk about?
The fall season. I don't know. I mean, it was much more chill than the summer.
Right. I'm
I
trying.
don't know. I mean,
I was just trying to think of some because, like you said, it was a lot more
Kingdom is the shit.
Kingdom. I have not seen any Kingdom.
I know.
Oh,
That's why I didn't bring it up, because I know neither of you have watched it.
Oh, okay.
Kingdom is incredible.
oh, you gonna be watching Golden Kamuy part?
Yeah, I am.
I think does it come? It comes out this week. Is it tomorrow?
I think it's the 5th. I think I might have to double check, but
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, the 5th.
okay. Yeah, I've seen so many the past couple of days. I've seen so many like release dates for stuff. It's hard to keep track of it all.
Jesus. I can't wait. Oh my God, Saturday's gonna be amazing.
It is, yeah. I'm excited.
I've already told friends and family, I'm like, don't try to talk to me on Saturday.
Yeah, the winter season is gonna be great. So yeah, I think we pretty much covered all the fall ones. Was there anything you guys wanted to add before we wrap things up?
No,
I got nothing.
No? Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys joining me, and I'm going to try to make this like a weekly thing, hopefully. So, one of the things I discussed with someone else that I might be going live with as well was maybe to have like a weekly discussion of the winter, or starting off with the winter season, and hopefully we could continue that throughout every season. But that's something I would like to do if you guys are up for it.
100%, man.
Yeah. All right, awesome. Yeah, so I appreciate everyone in the chat. Appreciate Quad and Art joining me here. Again, if you're, watching this after the stream has ended, like the video, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. And I will catch you guys in the next live.